Coming up next. Pringles. Not just a snack, but a revolution in a can. Since its debut in 1968.
Pringles have literally reshaped the snack aisle with their unmistakable saddle shape and iconic cylindrical can that
retained its shape and freshness in a package that was both convenient and stylish. His outcome was nothing short of a snacking.
A chip that stayed crisp and tasty and neatly stacked in a can that kept every piece intact until the very last crunch.
It soon became apparent that the name potato chip didn't quite fit the bill, since they're made with about 42% dehydrated potato flakes.
Not whole potatoes, and include a blend of other ingredients, like rice flour and wheat starch.
So, consequently, in 1975, the FDA mandated they be rebranded from potato chips to potato crisps.
A change that clarified labeling in North America, but caused some confusion in the UK, where potato chips are traditionally referred to as
crisps.
So what exactly goes into a Pringle if they're not entirely whole potatoes? Let's peel back the lid.
Go inside the factory to see the fascinating process that turns humble potato flakes and turns them into the poppable phenomenon we know as Pringles.
The potato flakes for Pringles begin with large batches of high-quality fresh potatoes.
And these spuds have a thrilling multi-step journey ahead of them. As soon as they arrive at the factory, they're whisked onto a conveyor belt
and immediately taken to the washing station. This isn't just any rinse though. The potatoes are soaked in this large tank. A hydro washer agitates the water, loosening any dirt and debris clinging to their surfaces.
Now squeaky clean, the potatoes are prepped for peeling. To get rid of their skins, the spuds tumble into this large drum,
lined with a surface that's as rough as very coarse sandpaper. As they spin and dance around, the abrasive texture gently rubs away their skin,
removing any layers that might get in the way of a silky, smooth Pringle.
After shedding their skins, the potatoes are on the move again, this time along this conveyor that leads them to the cutting station.
But first, they take a quick detour into this blanching bath. This quick dip in hot water does double duty.
It not only softens the potatoes to facilitate a smooth, even cut, but also helps inactivate enzymes that could have...
Paired by the heat, the potatoes ascend toward their physical deconstruction. The machine used to cut the spuds rolls them in this giant cylinder, spinning at 1,200 times per minute. As the potatoes reach the top,
they come in contact with a blade that slices them. Almost as soon as that happens, the sliced potatoes are cut into strips.
Just as quickly, another set of rotating blades chops the strips into little cubes. This blink-and-you'll-miss-it process is essential
for making the following steps easier. Next, the potato cubes continue traveling along the conveyor until they're dropped onto a separate vibrating belt.
The vibrations help to make sure that freshly cut pieces don't clump together. Several cameras also check for any blemishes or bad spots on the spuds.
To cook them, the cubes are dropped into 185 degrees Fahrenheit boiling water, where they'll stay for about 2 minutes. This giant machine then steam cooks the cubes at a temperature of 345 degrees Fahrenheit.
Now that the spud cubes are cooked to perfection, it's time to whip them up into a smooth, lump-free mash
that sets the stage for every Pringles crisp. This transformation happens inside this giant industrial drum,
where a robust metal arm tirelessly churns the cubes into an impeccably smooth potato mash. Now the real magic begins. The prepared potato mash undergoes a significant transformation.
The mash is exposed to intense heat. As the drum spins, moisture is quickly evaporated from the mash. This process not only preserves the flavor and quality of the potatoes, but also prepares the dried product for precise milling.
To the fine potato flakes used for the Pringles dough. Now that the potato sheets are perfectly dried, it's crunch time.
They're now turned into the essential building blocks of every Pringle. the potato flakes. The dried sheets are fed through this milling machine.
Where a series of sharp blades break the sheets down into perfectly proportioned flakes. To the untrained eye, these flakes look like something you'd have for breakfast.
Or even sand. The next stage is where the whole potatoes begin their transition into the unique base that sets Pringles apart.
From ordinary potato chips. With our potato flakes at the ready, it's time to bring in the supporting cast of ingredients.
In this large mixer, the flakes are combined with water, cornstarch, rice flour, wheat starch, degerminated yellow corn flour,
Maltodextrin, diglycerides, salt, and emulsifiers, which ensures the mixture stays fresh and stable throughout the rest of the process.
When the mixture is complete, the potato flake dough will resemble coarse, wet sand instead of the dough used for making bread.
Next, the dough mixture rides on this conveyor belt that sends it through an auger,
which evenly spreads the dough across the conveyor, ensuring that each portion has uniform consistency, setting the stage for the perfect rollout.
Once evenly spread on the conveyor, the dough continues through this giant roller that presses it with 4 tons of pressure.
Into a long and very thin sheet, just 1 millimeter in thickness, without knowing that it's actually made from potato flakes.
You could very easily mistake it for a giant sheet of paper or linen.
As the thin dough sheet continues its journey, it's fed into a giant rolling cutter that slices the dough into oval shapes.
At this point, the snack begins to resemble the shape millions know it for. Here's a fun fact. Inside the Pringles factory,
workers have a playful nickname for these shapes. They call them dough-balls, a clever twist on the word oval.
Once the dough has been cut into dough-balls, the remaining unused dough is pulled along by a different belt, rather than being thrown away.
It's recycled and sent back into the mixing stage, ready to be rolled out and shaped once again. This recycling...
As for the oval-cut dough, its journey continues towards the fryer, where it will take on its famous saddle shape. While in the fryer, a large roller molds the dough slices into a thin, concave shape. Or if you want to get more technical, a hyperbolic paraboloid.
During this process, the Pringles are cooked in hot oil at 392 degrees Fahrenheit for exactly 11 seconds.
This step serves 2 purposes. First, to lock in their shape, and second, to give them their desired crisp, golden finish.
That sets the stage for their satisfying crunch. Now fully cooked, the Pringles are sent through a hot air blower to remove excess oil
and lower the temperature. Then, the conveyor carries them under a cascade of seasoning that ensures each Pringle gets the perfect amount on the top side. From sour cream and onion to pizza, each Pringle is meticulously flavored. Thanks to their unique saddle shape, they naturally fall into neat piles, simplifying the tasks that lie ahead.
As they continue their journey, a quality control person inspects the Pringles, looking for any that might have been broken or are under-seasoned.
The stacks of Pringles are then placed on scales to ensure the proper amount of weight goes into each canister, before an automated spoon feeds the stacks into the open end of a canister. Once inside, automated guides tap the closed end of the tube to nudge the Pringles into position.
They advance to the sealing station. Here, automated machines precisely apply the tear-off freshness seals to the tops of each canister.
This ensures that every chip remains perfectly crisp from the factory floor to your first pop of the lid. Mechanical arms then lower the canisters to a station where a spinning machine attaches the metal bottoms, sealing them tight.
Before shipping, they undergo a unique test. Flavor experts conduct blind taste tests under red lighting, which prevents visual judgments based on appearance.
Testers evaluate the crunch, texture, and seasoning. If a single chip fails, the entire batch it came from is tossed.
Finally, the canisters are packed into boxes and loaded onto trucks for distribution to centers around the globe.
So, despite being thin and made from flakes, Pringles have solidified their place in snack history. Thanks for joining us on this incredible journey through the factory.